Stevie B!
What's up, Bradford?
Yo, dude, how are you?
I'm great. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. It's 2 beverage minimum.
Oh,
for
it
this
is?
show.
I know. I forgot my water, but I have my
It's
coffee.
2 beverage minimum. I got coffee and
That's what I would have. I'd have a sparkling water with my coffee here, but
Look at us, twinsies.
I know. Look at this. We got our microphone set up
Look at
perfectly today.
us.
Yeah.
Look at
so,
us.
So you had a big birthday. Whatever. It wasn't that big.
Well, I know, 41. Who gives a crap? But yeah, no, dude, we had a really lovely family weekend over this past weekend. We went up to Bodega Bay, California, which is just north of San Francisco. And it is this beautiful, like, harbor fishing town. It almost looks like it's preserved out of the 60s or 70s. We stayed at a very nice resort, but the rest of the town is just boats and, like, buildings that need an upgrade.
Right. Kind of like the East Coast.
Right. It felt like I was in a sleepy town in Cape Cod or something. Like it was really, but then you go around to the other side of the bay and then over to the ocean side, and you have these cliffs that that are unspeakably beautiful and kind of not otherworldly, but things that you only see in books and postcards.
That's awesome.
Seeing it in real life is almost too much to take in.
Yeah, you showed me pictures of it, and it did look like Ireland, or it looked like somewhere in Europe on the coast.
Sure.
And I'm like, wow, that's amazing up there.
It felt like you could run into a hobbit or something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I mean, not quite New Zealand, but it was like, it looked completely untouched by humans. Like,
yeah, awesome, dude.
Too rugged for us to mess up too.
So it wasn't a romantic weekend because you had the kids.
Well, that's for sure.
Happy not birthday to you.
Well, but the kids. Oh my gosh, our kids are not big jump on the bed kids, right? Finola is a little bit, but when we go to a hotel, and this room had a little bit of space. It was all one room. It's not like we had separate rooms. But boy, they love to test out the bed. And
sure do.
Jumping up and down and jumping up and down. And hey, I'm all for it.
It's not your bed.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's not your bed. My kids were the worst, dude. They were
really?
Freaking wild animals in hotels.
At home? Oh,
no, in hotels. Yeah. As soon as you get to a
what
hotel,
is that?
Jump on the bed, jump from bed to bed. It was just like, this is a new place. We're gonna destroy this place too. That's exactly what they think. I mean, Jack's cracked his head open from really cut his head open from jumping on the bed. So did Brooklyn. It's like these kids have had the worst.
That's a great way to start a family vacation. Split your head open.
No, well, it wasn't a family vacation, but I did that a bunch as a kid too. So that must be in the DNA. That's why I'm the way I am.
But we went horseback riding, which was actually my birthday gift from my family.
Oh, dude.
Which was amazing.
Dude.
So, and they picked the order of the horses, right? And the kids were on their own horses because they've ridden a little bit before. And so Finola was in the front behind the guide, then Juna, then Kira, and then myself. And the wind was probably 50 miles an hour. And yeah, it was violent. It was violent.
Wow.
But also means you couldn't hear anything. So evidently, Finola was having a meltdown on the front horse. And the 16-year-old girl that was our guide had to deal with Finola, which was a birthday gift in itself.
Yes, that's amazing.
So, and then Kira's on the biggest, Kira was on this huge horse called Guinness, which we thought was appropriate because she's Irish and hey, we like to drink. And Guinness, the lady's like, oh, he's a stock horse. He's like so calm. He won't do anything. He starts just going off the trail. And Kira's not totally comfortable on horses. So she's like, so I can tell she can't wait for it to end. I didn't know how upset Finola was in the back. So I'm just in the back having a great time. Beautiful view, laughing at the wind because when crazy weather hits me, when crazy cold weather or crazy windy weather, as long as it's not dangerous. Oh, this was starting to feel dangerous. It just makes me laugh.
Oh, dude.
So, yeah.
Okay. So
a lot of heat makes me angry, but a lot of cold or a lot of wind just makes me laugh. So I'm just sitting there laughing and the family couldn't get too upset because it was their gift to me.
Yeah.
If it had been my idea.
Oh, you'd been dead.
I would have been dead.
They'd have been dead. Dude, this is the perfect, because the story I have to tell you is about horseback riding. Yeah, so I got to tell you the story. So after I won the Emmy in 1998, like this is when I first met Cherie, right? So we go to Radio City Music Hall. It's amazing. I win the Emmy. It was amazing. And we wanted to go on a vacation afterwards, but we didn't want to fly all the way back to Hawaii. So, so I'm like, let's just go to Cancun, right? Beautiful water. I mean, crystal water, white sands. I'm like, let's just go to Cancun. So she's like, great, let's go to Cancun. So we go to a really nice resort in Cancun. It's all inclusive, right? And we're in the lobby near kind of the touristy concierge stuff.
Sure.
And I see this amazing poster of a guy who looks like Fabio, you know, on a horse bareback, riding next to his girlfriend or wife, holding their hand on the beach. And I'm like, this is amazing. Cherie loves horses.
Let's do that.
Yeah, Cherie loves horses. This is amazing.
My hair used to look like that.
Totally. So I go over there and I start talking to the guy and I go, okay, so what's the deal here? How do we do this? He goes, well, it's a group thing. You go as a group, you ride on the beach, you take the saddles off on the beach and you do bareback and then you put the saddles back on and go back to the ranch. And I'm like,
was any of this metaphor for anything else? Or was this like,
could have been,
was this code?
No, that's a different code. That's if you're in a bathroom
at the end
somewhere.
of it, you end up, at the end of it, you're in a cult. Congratulations.
That's when you're in the bathroom at the airport. So he tells me this. I go, okay, great. How much? He's like, $20. I said, well,
that's a steal.
I'm really looking for like a private, you know, a private guide. And I go, how much is that? He's like, 25. And I'm like, sold. So I give him $50, right? He's like, oh, there's a car right outside. Go ahead. I go, okay. I guess it was a car from like the ranch or something, right? So,
oh, sure. Because it's offsite. It's not at the hotel.
Yeah, it's offsite. So we get in the car and we start driving away from the beach. And I'm like, sir, amigo, where are we headed? Because I'm like, I just paid $50 to get killed because we were going away from the beach. I'm like, the beach is that way. We got a horseback ride on the beach. And he's like, no, don't worry. It's just about 10 minutes inland and you'll be fine. I said, okay, great. So we pull up to the ranch, pull in this little ranch, you know, just a bunch of corrals and stuff. And the guide meets us at the car. He's like, hey, how are you? I'm Pablo. I'll be taking you for your ride. I said, awesome. So we get out. He takes us over to the horses. And there's this beautiful horse, dude. Like if Fabio died and came back as a horse, this is the horse. I'm telling you, it's a Palomino. It's blonde hair, muscular. And Cherie's just like, I want to ride that one. I want to ride that one. And he goes, yeah, that's your horse. And she goes, what's his name? And he goes, Desperado. And I go, yeah. I go, what? He's like, Desperado. I go, oh, okay. And so he says, ma'am, we'll take you to get you ready, get your saddle. Let's go. I go, all right, Pablo, where's my horse? And he points to a horse, dude. This is no lie. Points to a horse. It's in the corner.
Jerome the donkey.
No, in the corner of the corral. It's a lot smaller than Desperado. Sure. And it had about 12 ribs showing. And he goes, that's your horse. I go, that's my horse? He goes, yeah, that's your horse right there. I go, okay, what's his name? And he goes, Timmy. And I go, wait a minute, dude. Hold on. What's going on here? Like my wife's on a horse named Desperado and I'm on half dead Timmy over here. This guy's dead. He's like dead. He's like, no, Timmy's fine. I said, okay, fine. So we get on so the idea is you trail ride to the beach, right?
Sure.
That's why you need the saddles. You get on and the guide's in front and then Cherie and then me and I'm on half dead Timmy. And there's really no trail. It's like this weird terrain. It's like a jungle, but a desert, right? It's like this weird kind of terrain of there's no set trail. You're just kind of going through this jungle sort of.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And the things are hitting you and the trees and the twigs. And I'm, you know, me, I don't like monkeys. I'm looking for monkeys jumping out freaking from these trees. I'm like, I know there's monkeys up there. I can even hear them.
Maybe even howler monkeys too.
I can hear them. So So the trail was fine. We make it through. And then we kind of come out of the clearing and we see the freaking ocean's amazing. Yeah. It's crystal clear, white sands. So right when we come out, it starts getting sandy. So we're on the sand, and right where we come out, there's about 4 or 5 palm trees. So it's super shaded. So he's like, hey, let's take a break. Let's tie the horses up. We'll take the saddles off, and then you guys can bareback. You know, we drink. He brought some.
Sorry, that will never sound like. That will never sound normal to me.
Well, because you're a weirdo.
I guess so.
Okay, so we're drinking. We sit there because he brought some Coca-Colas.
Oh, nice.
So we're drinking some Coca-Colas.
The best kind, probably in the glass bottle.
Totally, yeah, cold. It was amazing. We're sitting there. Yeah. This is great, right? This is great. I got half dead Timmy, but whatever. But
you should have given him some of the cocoa. The Coca-Cola.
So this dude was so lethargic. He was like,
could have used a little caffeine.
He was barely alive. He was barely alive, right? So we get there. We're kind of under these palm trees having a Coca-Cola, and out of my peripheral, I see the group coming, like the group of the group of horses, right? They're on the beach, right? And there's probably 20 to 30 horses, and they're just kind of, trotting along a little bit. Everybody's laughing. It was great. It was beautiful weather, and they go past us. So they go past us, and Pablo says he takes off the saddles for us. He goes, okay, let's go. You guys can go, bareback. And I said, great. So we get on, and it was nice. We were kind of just.
How do you climb on without a saddle? How do you, did you just get like a little boost?
You just got to get it. Yeah, exactly. You got to get a boost up and just a little foot up, and you're on.
Right.
And you're good, and you have no rein, so you got to kind of hold on to the mane, right? So we go to do the bareback ride up and down the beach. It's great. Is
that comfortable?
No, I hate it. I hate horses, dude. First of all, I don't like horses. Big body, small brain. Big body, small brain.
Some have said the same thing about you. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. That's why we don't like. That's why we don't like each other. Big body, small brain. So we're bareback, right? And we do the bareback thing. It's great. I hold Cherie's hand like in the poster.
Did Pablo take a picture for you? Do you have a picture?
No,
of this?
But I have pictures of this because this
was before selfies, right? Yeah.
This is right. We actually had to have a camera. Yeah.
Right.
So we do the bareback thing, great, and we come back to our little palm trees to put the saddles back on to go back to the ranch. So as soon as we get back to the palm trees, I hear this thing, like I've never heard this sound before. Like it sounded like it wasn't like a train coming, but it was because it was on the ground. It was like this thunderous noise.
It was a tremor.
I'm still on. Yeah, totally. It was a tremor. And I'm still on half dead Timmy. And I look and I see all 30 horses stampeding back. Remember when I told you the other day about being barn sour? I said barn sour means once they turn around, once trail horses turn around, they're going home. They know they're getting fed. Right. So these horses, this is no joke, dude. If 2 take off, 28 more are taking off behind them.
Were the other people still on them?
Some of them.
Oh, so the other people had fallen off already?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
So this was like the movie was perfect until I saw this, right?
Well, half dead Timmy was probably the perfect horse to be on because he couldn't run.
Just wait.
Okay.
20 to 30 horses are just like, it's like a freaking horse race. People are falling off. There's empty horses and they're screaming. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I watching? So the stampede goes by. People are falling down.
Well, because if you're in a front horse and you fall down, you got 30 other horses that are going to run.
Yeah, dude, it became a nightmare real quick. So the stampede happens. All of a sudden, half dead Timmy wants to go with his friends. Okay? So half dead Timmy, who's been half dead all day, is no longer half dead. He literally takes off.
He's hungry.
I'm on him. He's like, dude, I got 12 ribs showing. I need some food. I'm going back. F you. And that's what he said to me. And I'm holding on to him. Turns around. It was like the Pony Express, dude. This freaking horse took off. And Pablo,
you're on him.
Half dead Timmy. I'm on half dead Timmy.
You're on, okay.
I'm on half dead Timmy.
He didn't just run away and you were like, good riddance. You were on him.
No, I was on him. Half dead Timmy takes off. And I scream. I'm like, Pablo, help, help. because this thing was like a bat out of hell, right?
What did
And
Desperado do?
Nothing. Of course, Desperado did nothing. His hair is blowing in the wind. He's sitting under a palm tree with a beautiful woman on his back. He's not going anywhere.
I got my light. I got this guy. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So Half Dead Timmy takes off, and in my head, I'm like, I'm dead. I don't know what to do. I'm not going to jump. I can't jump off this thing because it was going so fast. I'm like,
there's no way you can pull in the reins. There's nothing.
There's no reins. It's his freaking mane.
Oh, because you're still bareback.
There's no way to stop him. So here's what I did. I have him by the mane, and he's freaking hauling ass. I go, okay, I'm gonna take a freaking hard right with his mane. That's the ocean. So I go, if this guy sees the ocean, maybe he'll stop. But Half Dead Timmy, big body, small brain. Half Dead Timmy kept running right into the ocean, dude. Dude, this horse was so stupid that he started like running into the ocean. And of course, the deeper he got, the slower he became. He got up to his neck in the ocean, which Cherie has a picture of, in the ocean, and I jumped off and swam away.
Did he keep going? Did he do like a full like?
So I jumped off. I'm swimming, and then I see Pablo running down. Pablo catches up to us, and he's like, making the noises you get for horses, right? So he gets Half Dead Timmy out of the water, but Half Dead Timmy takes off. He's gone. Pablo's like, oh, I'll see him back at the ranch. I'm like, what the freak is going on here? I look, and Cherie's under the palm trees still with Desperado, and I'm freaking on Half Dead Timmy, who just ran right into the ocean.
Oh, my God.
And I had to jump off this horse that ran itself into the ocean to save my own life.
Wow, dude.
So Pablo.
I'm glad you told me this story after my ride.
Yeah. So Pablo goes, oh, don't worry, Half Dead Timmy will make it back. And I go, I don't give a crap if Half Dead Timmy dies, okay? I'm not a fan of Half Dead Timmy. I don't like him. Forget Half Dead Timmy. So Half Dead Timmy, he's gone. So now we have 3 people and 2 horses. And I can't walk back through the trail. I got flip-flops on. I got shorts on. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So I need a ride. So I go, I don't know what I'm going to do. And Pablo goes, you can ride with me. I go, so hold on. So I'm already humiliated by this freaking Half Dead Timmy horse. And now I got to get on the back of a horse with Pablo and hold on.
Wrap my arms around Pablo as my wife was on this beautiful.
Yeah, and hold on to Pablo as I go back. And he's like, oh, it's fine. Just get on. So I hug Pablo. We're riding back. And I'm like, hey, Pablo, what's your horse's name? And he's like, Sonny.
Come on.
Like, no, that's not true. That part's not true. But all of that is true, dude. 100%. All of it is true. Like,
wow.
That was one story from Cancun. I have a couple more.
Were you still holding your Emmy?
No, I wasn't holding my Emmy. So, but dude, I don't like horses. My wife has shown horses. She loves horses.
No, dude, I remember when when I first, there was a time that, God, it was 2008. I was dating Kira because I was up in wine country, and Cherie, you guys were up in Los Olivos for a horse show. Yeah. And Kira was in rehearsal. So I came down and watched her show.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
And I remember did you guys have a horse trailer and all this stuff?
No, we rented an RV, like a fifth wheel for that show. So we could just sleep in there and hang out in there. Yeah. Because it was all weekend. Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't like horses, dude. I'm not a fan.
I could tell even then you were like,
I'm not a fan.
This is great that she enjoys this. This is not my jam.
I said, honey, because she's starting to kind of ride again a little bit. And I'm like, honey, great, ride. As long as that, if you want to go show, I get an RV.
Why don't you get a less expensive habit like boating?
Well, no, this is less expensive. Yeah, right. Well, this will be less expensive because I'm not buying a horse. She's actually going to ride other people's horses. And I'm going to see if I can go buy Half Dead Timmy from Cancun to see if he's still around. She can show him.
That's amazing. They'll get the pity ribbon.
Yeah, this poor bastard. That dude is in the glue factory. He's done.
Oh, poor Timmy.
Poor Half Dead Timmy. He's probably really dead. So.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, that was hilarious.
Well, you know what? I remember before when I told you that we were going horseback riding, you said barn sour horses. But you didn't go into it, which I appreciate.
No, I didn't. Yeah. I'm glad there's no.
I mean, it was kind of like that time that I had to fly. Remember that time that Port Chuck was playing a charity event in Georgia.
Yeah, that I didn't go to.
But I was already booked for a women's expo in, I want to say, Tulsa. I think I was in Arkansas. I was in like Fort Smith, Arkansas. And I had to get from Fort Smith, Arkansas to Georgia. And that's a bit of a stretch. And there's no good commercial routes for that.
No.
But somebody that was with the charity, flew his own plane. And they said, oh, he'll come pick you up. And I was like, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. Because that sounded private. Like you're flying private.
Sure. Like, yeah,
I was like,
the G5's rolling in to pick you up.
I guess that's what I kind of expected. and then they're like, oh, I was like, what kind of plane is it? And they sent me some letters and numbers. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, yeah.
And so I Googled it and I'm like, oh no.
What was it, like a 2-seater or a 4-seater?
I guess it was a 4-seater because I sat in the back because he and his wife were in the front and I was in the back. But I had earphones on and the windows are
So it was like a Cessna.
Smaller.
How could it be smaller than that?
Well, because it didn't have it had just like the
where was the propeller?
In the front.
On the front, on the nose?
On the nose, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And and the windows were canvas, or not canvas, but see-through canvas, right? I don't know how to say it. They're not plastic.
So you were up?
Yeah.
And the windows were open?
Well, but it's like,
Did you feel the breeze?
Yeah, well, it's super noisy.
Gosh, no way am I getting in that freaking
or soft plastic. Yeah, it's not sealed
right
from the outside, right?
Well,
there's no cabin pressure.
How long was that flight?
2.5 hours.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but I mean, it was beautiful because
yeah, I mean, actually, it's not that. It's safer than at least you have a chance if something goes south. At least you're gliding down. That's always the theory.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Because
it's always the little planes that end up in someone's garage.
I know. That's true. They crashed in someone's living room. I know.
Well, I mean, this is the perfect follow-up to Alicia Lee Willis's episode where she talks about flying her Cessna.
Yes.
So we didn't share these stories with her.
No.
But yeah. So but you said to me that the reason why I brought this up is because you said to me before I did that, you always have a great way of I tell you something I'm about to do. And then you always make me nervous ahead of it.
You're already nervous, dude.
Because you said, do you have life insurance?
Wow.
That's what you said.
I know.
I got some.
Right before that flight, right?
Correct. That was the impetus to get life insurance.
Okay. You're welcome.
So right before I do this trail ride, and you're like, well, trail rides are interesting. You know what bar and sour means? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. You didn't go into it, but you went into it now. Thank you for not going into it before, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and horses and the other thing you're lucky about is horses in the wind is not good. Like wind for horses is not good. They don't like it.
I was spooked.
They should have been spooked.
I was half surprised. I was surprised that they weren't because it felt, if I was one of those horses, I would have wanted out.
Listen, I'm not putting my kids on a freaking trail ride horse from some public, hey, come trail ride with us. No, not happening. No. That's when stuff goes south. Anytime an animal's involved, especially a horse, they can spook easily, man. They see something weird over here and they freaking buck and your kid's like, ah. Yeah. So it's not great.
Well, luckily we made it.
You made it. Happy birthday.
Well, but I remember doing stuff like that with my parents. I think we did horseback rides like when we went to Arizona or something like that. And I remember it. And sometimes if it's not an entirely peaceful experience, you have stronger memories of it. And it'll be like a harrowing experience that you went through as a family.
Okay.
So
that's true.
So I as it was happening, I was thinking to myself, hey, my kids are going to remember this forever. And that's great.
Okay. And that's great. Yes.
Right.
It was uneventful. It was nice. It was good. You got back.
Well, but that's the thing is it wasn't uneventful. It felt like an experience. It felt like an adventure.
Right. I meant uneventful, nothing bad happened.
Oh yeah, nothing bad happened. Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, but it was outdoorsy, and we're not the most outdoorsy family. But one of the things we like to do sometimes when it's just you and me is talk about good news stories, right?
Sure. I love good news.
And the Good News Network, now that John Krasinski is not doing his good news show anymore. Well, I mean, where do we turn? Where do we turn, John Krasinski?
Well, this actually Good News Network that we follow has been around for
exactly.
But go ahead.
But they were saying that the pandemic, which I don't think it's a huge aha moment, but it is nice. And basically a poll said that the pandemic has given Americans a newfound appreciation of nature, which because
that can't be bad.
Well, and also like you're stuck inside. The only thing you can do that isn't in crowds is explore nature if it's near you, right?
Sure.
Obviously, some people don't have access to nature
or parks,
or parks, or and some a lot of the state parks were closed. I know in California, like some of the federal parks were closed. But anyway, if you could find it, but I don't know. There was something about reconnecting with nature that I think is good for humans, right?
100%. There's no doubt. I mean, it's scientifically proven, by the way.
Oh, look at you bringing the science.
Well, because they'll monitor people's brain activity when they go into the mountains or the forest, or they go to the beach, and they see a huge difference.
Well, there is nothing about the perspective you get when you see something bigger than yourself.
Oh,
right?
No, it's amazing.
So whether that's the ocean or whether that's being on a mountain
like in Northern California,
a big tree.
Yeah, those redwoods are ridiculous, right?
Right.
It's like you see that, you're like, holy crap, I'm just an ant.
Right. Exactly. So and it is. And I think also when we're dealing with such horrible stuff, when you see the world being bigger than you, the problems don't seem smaller, but I don't know. There's something about that. Well,
there's definitely a perspective change. It's a perspective, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's hard when you're in the mire of everything to go, oh, let's have a better perspective. But this whole pandemic I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, man, this is kind of like, it's been a forced reboot.
Yeah.
Right. It's forced people to slow down, to go back to nature, to maybe start reading books again, to do things that we used to do so often, where we didn't get lost in, just the kind of the hamster wheel of life of not being able to slow down and take a look at things. And I think this has forced a lot of people to do that, good and bad, but it's definitely been a forced reboot for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of things that need reboots, did you see that they put the they put the blooper reel on Twitter?
When?
Yeah, so I think the blooper reel is a holiday tradition, right?
Yeah, usually the holiday. It's on Twitter right now?
At least a section of it is.
Oh, great. Do you have? I don't even really remember it. Do you have it?
Would you care to watch?
I'd love to watch. You can't watch. Okay. Can we do this?
Let me figure out the screen share thing. But hey guys, it's like Mystery Science 3000 with Steve and Brad watching the GH blooper reel. And Steve, I think you started out. So let me.
Okay, let's see what happens here.
Okay,
this is amazing. So for people that are listening, what they'll do all year long is if there's a mess up in a scene or a blooper, they'll basically kind of put it, they'll mark it and put it in the bank. And at the end of the year, they'll go through them all and see if, and try to make a reel for the Christmas party that the crew and us can all enjoy and laugh together. So apparently
are you seeing what I'm showing you?
I am seeing it. Yes.
All right. So this is the start of it. You got a hand on Kelly Monaco's elbow and there's a fire in front of you.
Hey, nothing shows sexiness more than grabbing a girl's elbow, just so you know.
That's your move.
That's my move. I grabbed the elbow. See, I was ahead of the times because with Corona, you just go for the elbow now.
Oh, that's right. That's the move.
Yeah, that's the move. So I invented this. Shut up.
Okay, here we go. You ready for this?
Sure.
Is this okay?
Shut up.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. Cut.
What happened?
You're sweating.
No kidding, there's a fire right there.
But you're like sweating. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I gotta pause right there.
Oh,
She was
wait.
She was totally just nonplussed. It's like she knew it and she was disgusted by it. And she's like, thank God. Look at this sweaty
Okay,
man.
first of all, I couldn't see myself sweating. I felt myself sweating because that fire.
You look slightly like a vampire from like from Bella and Edward. You look like the sun had hit you and your diamonds were showing.
Okay, well, first of all, people sweat. I was in Russia Clinic for 5 years, no action. I'm back. I'm trying to get some action finally, and they have a freaking fire there that's 127 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm already nervous, and now I'm sweating from being nervous and heat.
Well, isn't that a natural reaction from like physical love?
It should be.
I guess maybe the sweat comes when you're working a little harder than what you're doing there.
Well, I'm not working at all right there. I'm just really sweaty. So
okay,
that's very funny.
Let's continue.
I was going to say something.
It's been 7 years since Jason has had relations. Does that count?
How much do you know about Michael Corinthos?
He's got a huge
Wow, that's some esoteric camera work. I was curious to know.
Only JPS.
Trust me, it's gonna work in the edit. Trust me.
The cinephile. That's great.
That's funny.
I came by to get Rocco's mitt, and the front door was unlocked. When I came inside, there was a guy in here trying to rub the place.
What?
Did I just say rub?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
That's amazing.
When I started talking, he put his fist in my mouth. All right, here we go.
We all want to do that,
That was in your
Jack.
mouth.
Well, and I love how Perry's right there, just like having none of it. He's like, I'm doing my work.
He's like,
Get it
I'm doing my
together,
thing
Chad.
right now.
Get it together, Chad.
Our first tee awaits. Let me get this round.
Hey,
Peter.
Where'd it go?
He slammed the bottle down in the bar and it just erupted. That was amazing. Smooth move, X-Lax.
Pause it.
You okay?
Smooth move, X-Lax.
Yeah, first of all, he doesn't obviously drink beer a lot. Because nobody who drinks beer does that.
You do it when you're done. Right?
He wasn't done.
He was not done. And those near beers are delicious.
And they're foamy as hell, by the way.
They're foamy as hell. Well, because chances are they're not refrigerated.
Chances are they're not. Yes.
Right? That is the problem with the near beer. Because there was that one time that the amber, which is like kind of is it the non-alcoholic Amstel, or is it still it's still it's O'Doul's amber.
Or Coors Cutter or something. Go ahead. Yes.
Right. But I think it was the O'Doul's amber that we were in the Metro Court and you're like, 2 more, please.
It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Hit me up, bartender.
I know.
Hit me up, barkeep.
I know.
Yeah,
Will just had a scene. Julian just had a scene with Cyrus in Charlie's, right?
Charlie's, right.
And Julian was supposed to give Cyrus a beer and open it. And every time he opened it, it just kept foaming and exploding. And we're like, first of all, Will doesn't know how to open a beer. But second of all, can we give just fake it? Just because they went through like 3 beers. I'm like, you guys just wasted 3 really good beers.
3 really delicious beer.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's see what else.
All right, so we have Maura and Ingo here.
I don't need any help. Okay. I mean, I do, but not right now.
Ooh. But Ingo's having none of it. Oh, this little girl.
Oh, she's the best.
Thank you, sweetheart.
That was pre-taped. That was pre-taped. That little girl.
Cute.
That
so
little girl
cute.
Needed to give Michael Easton a little kiss on the cheek. Not during the scene. Pre-tape. Beckoned him.
How great is that? Come on, dude. That's
did you see the camera cut to it?
Oh, it was so cute. They were following it right away.
I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, it was amazing. Great moment.
So sweet.
Great moment.
And
great
now
moment of humanity. And here and now,
Absolutely.
speaking of non-humanity,
great moments in humanity.
Shiloh.
Get the heck out of Shiloh. Amazing. Take it. Oh. They add the sound effects later. Do you throw him down the stairs? Where are you supposedly throwing him?
Hold on.
Good. Excellent. You all right?
Yeah, fine.
Great. All right. Oh, now, guys.
There he goes. I gave Shiloh a good beating. That was a good one.
So where did you throw him?
Supposedly the next cut was him going down spiral staircase.
Spiral staircase?
Yes.
Like iron spiral staircases.
Yeah.
Did you see the stunt double do that?
Yeah. I did.
Dude, sometimes I see these stunt people and
Yeah.
a lot of them, you know, some of them are, this is their business and this is like what they've trained to do. Others are like actors that are willing to get thrown around. Am I right saying that? Sometimes.
I don't know.
I'm not trying to demean anything. I'm saying
No,
that some of them,
I know you're not. I know you're not.
right. Some of them are like, I'm sure all of them have to be trained. Some, you know, like, and some are trained to do higher stakes things than others.
Yeah, but listen, here's the thing. Most stunt guys, they have a high threshold of pain. That's the first thing, right?
Sure.
And you have
I
to.
I don't know
what you're
how.
doing.
I don't know how there's a professional way to fall down spiral stairs.
Well, I did. I had to. So I had to do
What?
it. Yeah, I had to do it.
When did you fall down spiral
When I came
stairs?
back, because I had like a headache or something, and I fainted, and I fell down
Oh.
spiral staircase. Like this is the last year or two, whatever. And I did it as well as I could without really going for it. And then they brought in a stunt double, and that guy just went boop, 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 right down, right? So it was crazy because they were metal spiral staircase, and
That's what
not
I'm
good.
saying. How do you control
not
yourself?
good.
Number one,
Yeah, I know.
and I just
And the first time he didn't really have any pads on, and then Frank was like, "Put the pads on right
My
now."
gosh.
Yeah, they like pain, dude. They like pain. All right, let's go.
All
Moving
right,
on.
Let's finish this up. Now we have this is little Wiley. No, little James. I think it's little James. I think it's Maxie's kid.
Okay, great.
I think.
With who?
Okay.
I'm gonna say Nathan. James.
Okay, great. Go.
Yeah. But this little boy, I think his real name in real life is Curtis.
Well, that says Curtis
And
on
he-
the screen. Thank you
He's
so much.
well, they can't see that right now. I mean, you'll see this maybe on YouTube.
Oh, that's true. They're hearing us. That's right.
They're hearing us for the first time. And he's about to give us a rundown on some of the equipment that he sees.
What are we looking
What's
at?
a microphone?
Is there any other in this? Can you fly it?
Hey, Curtis.
Two microphones, actually, yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah. You're
Two
right.
microphones. I love that.
Oh, now that microphone goes.
That's awesome.
Lucas was always saying how
More
Wiley always
Chad.
behaved better for you than anyone.
What just happened to me? Sorry. I'm gonna go right there.
Chad's the best.
Like
He's the
I
best.
feel like my spirit just left my body all of a sudden.
That's amazing.
What just
Listen,
happened?
He's like,
I know I lie, and I don't know my body just passed out.
I love that he thinks like
my fault.
other people are going to know. Like other people are going to have witnessed what happened, and he's going to be like, "Did my spirit really leave?"
yeah. He's actually asking people like, "What happened?" Like Chad, we don't know. We don't know what happened. But if you guys listen to this, please watch this on YouTube. Please watch this on YouTube. We're gonna put this up like we should put this up right when this comes out.
Right.
The
Well,
next
but
day.
it's amazing to me. Like, you know, people always say when they meet you in person that like, "Oh my God, you're so different from your character," right? You get
Yeah.
that a lot, right?
Yes.
I would say Chad is another surprise.
100,000%.
You know, he does a great job of making Michael like, because Michael is never really goofy, is he?
No, not at all.
Right. And
But
Chad
Chad is.
can't help but not be.
I know that's what's so amazing about it is if he should be doing comedies, dude. He's great at physical comedy. He should be doing that stuff hands down.
Yeah, his physical instincts for comedy he's just one of those people that when you talk to his own individual timing for things and things that
Dude.
like he's just funny.
It's just funny because I hope this one blooper makes it to the reel this year because we had a funny one. And he just couldn't get through this one scene because they told him to do something. You know how that like when we were doing that scene in Sam's penthouse, we had that 4-page scene and they're like, okay, Bradford, like we rehearsed, and then they go, hey, on this line, type here. And then on this line, turn the computer and show them. And then on this line, you're like, wait a minute, dude.
I have like a ton of exposition.
Yeah, you had a ton of dialogue.
And it was hard to negotiate that.
And all they did for Chad is like, because he had some lines, right? We had some scenes in the Quartermain Den, and they already aired, so people might already know. And we were at the coffee cart, and all she said, Chad, have the coffee and pour some cream in it. And it acted like he acted like she said, hey, I need you to juggle, and I need you to do all this stuff. And he couldn't do it. And he couldn't even I go, Chad, don't pour the cream in. Don't pick up the cream. Like I take 5.
I was going to say, he's had too many scenes with you in the old days where you were like blocking, boo. You're so much more amenable to it now, but in the old days, you're like, really, I got to move?
Yeah, I don't like moving, but now I do. So
now you do. But that's funny. So did he have that response like, oh man, I got to do something?
No, well, kind of, but then he kept trying to do it and it wasn't working. I go, can we not have him pour the cream? Because
maybe he likes his coffee black. That's reasonable.
Right. There you go. So that was easy.
My goodness.
Fix.
Well,
that was a great podcast.
We had a lot more planned for this episode, but boy, we don't need it.
I know we don't. Next week we got a new segment for you guys. So,
but thank you guys.
We need to talk about something though, sir.
Oh, that's right. We have a bit of an announcement.
We do have a big announcement for sure.
That's right. People always ask us this one question. And Steve really did a kind of misdirect on Instagram a couple of weeks ago when he said goodbye to Port Chuck.
I didn't say goodbye.
You said no. You were reminiscing about times with Port Chuck.
Port Chuck. Well, first of all, it was one of the best times of my life,
for sure.
And I know you guys had an amazing time. And we're always trying to figure out how to get back together, right? That's we're always like, it's so fun, we got to do it. But then we'd sit down and go over the details. We're like, we're never going to do it because it's so much work and getting everyone together. So, and you and I, since we've started our Patreon page and all the stuff that we're doing together, we're like, it'd be cool to do some music. It'd be cool to get Port Chuck back together, right? And for months we were trying to figure out how to do an online concert or something with Port Chuck, and we were running into a bunch of different issues with licensing and all these things.
Yeah.
And so we figured it out though. Port Chuck is getting back together. Listen, I got to say that again. Port Chuck is getting back together for one night. One night only. One night only. And you can watch from your living room, and we're going to have a blast. It's over on our Patreon page. We're doing it for our executives on our Patreon page, and it's the karaoke night. We're actually going through songs right now. We're like, oh, look at all these Port Chuck songs that we've done, and now we're picking them.
So imagine me and Steve, Brando and Scott in a room singing karaoke songs together, hanging out, having a good time. That's what it's going to be, and you guys are going to be there with us in your living rooms. We only have a limited number of spaces, and as Steve said, there for our executives on Patreon. Our Patreon friends get content from us every day. Executives, we also do a monthly Zoom hangout with them. So they're on screen with us. We do that every month. So in October, we're going to be doing our Zoom hangout with executives. We're going to be doing our Port Chuck karaoke night with executives. They also get an extra podcast. They get daily content. It's a lot.
Patreon's really a place for us to create and give exclusive content. So there's different levels. If you're an executive, you get so much. Like Bradford said, you get a bonus podcast, hangs, exclusive content. We're doing these live events. We're doing the first one with karaoke with Port Chuck and a hang, and it's going to be awesome. But like Bradford said also, there's limited spots. We only have a certain amount of spots for executives. You can cancel anytime, but go check it out. Don't wait, because the night's going to come and it won't be available. October 24th is when we're doing this karaoke night, but go over to Patreon, check out all the different levels and all the different benefits. But executives, Port Chuck karaoke's for you.
That's right. So anyway, it's another way for us to have fun. Like, all this stuff that you guys have seen, all these online things. We're trying to have fun. Right. And we do
just
that.
want to have fun, man.
We boys just want to have fun. So we're so excited to get the boys back together and share it with you guys. So yeah, so that's the big news for us. We're so excited.
Yeah,
we're so excited to see those guys.
It's gonna be so awesome.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Just going through songs, but also go to stonecoldandthejackal.com. We're doing everything over there. We got YouTube. We got a new blog that we just launched, which is great. We got Tristan Rogers, Johnny Wachter. We got some lifestyle stuff coming up. The blog's awesome. So we're doing as much as we can for you guys, creating so much content. Go check it out, stonecoldjackal.com. That's our tour dates for 2021 are up now.
Yes.
Don't wait on those. I know we don't know where we're going to be, but hopefully we're all going to be hopeful right now and say, hey, we're going to have fun. We're going to do live events again. And Bradford and I are going to do probably 50 to 60 events next year in 2021. That's the goal. Check it out. And we so appreciate you guys. We're just so blessed and just grateful and lucky to do this and be able to hang out and create content and do some fun stuff for you guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Have a great week, everybody. We'll be talking to you next week.